Hi guys, welcome back. Lesson 13 for Saxon 76. We're going to talk about two things today. Larger, smaller difference, earlier or later, earlier difference. Okay, so two difference problems. And from our last lesson, we learned that difference means subtraction, right? So the big thing is, and I want you to write this down. Open up your notebook to the notes section. You're going to write down for lesson 13. Lesson 13. I want you to write down larger. So math is all about patterns, right? We've talked about some patterns before, sum and some more, or sum and some went away. Those are some patterns. This one's going to be larger, smaller, and we're going to subtract. And when we subtract, we find the difference. The other one we're going to talk about are later, earlier, and the difference. So make sure you've written those down because we'll be referencing those, okay? So later, earlier, difference. Beautiful. So let's start with an example. There were 324 girls, and 289 boys, okay, in the school. How many fewer boys than girls were there in the school? Again, the pattern is larger, smaller, difference, okay? Larger, smaller, difference. The larger group is right here, so we're gonna do 324. The smaller group, 289, we get the difference. So let's go ahead and do some subtraction. This is going to be 1. This is going to be 14 minus 9, which is 5. I'm going to borrow from here. That's going to be 2. I'm going to make that 11. 11 minus 8 gives us 3. The difference is 35 students. 35 girls in particular. 35 girls. All right. What about time? Before, so we said later, earlier, difference. Later, earlier, difference. Okay. So how many years were there from 1492 to 1620? How many years were there from 1492 to 1620? Later, earlier, difference. Later is what is going to be the most recent, right? This one is the most recent minus the earlier one, or the smaller one. That will give us our difference. So we can't do this, we're gonna borrow. 10 minus 2, we get 8. We have to borrow. So 11 minus 9, we get 2. 5 minus 4, we get 1. 1 minus 1, so it was 128 years. 128 years. Good, okay, so go ahead and pause this. Turn to page 60 in your book, and I want you to do those practice problems that are at the bottom. See if you can get them from what we've done. So pause the video, do those practice problems, and then A. Come on back. The population of Castor is 26,296, or I'm sorry, 26,290. The population, that's Castor. The population of Weston is 18,962. How many more people live in Castor than live in Weston? Again, we're finding the difference between those two, right? Difference means subtract. We always want to take the larger and subtract the smaller one. So we're going to do that. 8. That's going to be 10. We get 8 here. 2. For this guy, we have to borrow. 6. That's going to be 5. 12. 9. We get 3. Bring down that comma. 5 minus 8. We can't do that. So we're going to do 1. 15. 7. 7,328 people. Perfect. Let's do B. How many years were there from 1,066 to 1215? Again, we want to do, I don't want to mess this up. It's LED, right? Later, earlier, difference. Later, earlier, difference. The later one, the bigger one, 1215, minus the earlier one of this guy gives us our difference. Let's do some subtraction. Make that 0, make that 15. That's going to be a 9. Make that a 1, make that a 10. We get 4. 1 minus, then we get 1. 149 years. 149 years. All right, guys, hopefully that makes some sense. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, great work.